I recently did a video where I shared with you my opinion based on research and experience of using what's called single sign-on to third-party sites where you use your Google account or your Facebook account, and as long as you're logged into those accounts, you can get to these other third-party sites by connecting your Google, your Facebook, your Amazon, etc., and you don't need to actually log into those sites. It's called single sign-on. And if you didn't see the video, here's a link to it. And I recommend you do not do single sign-on. Now, that being said, a lot of people have done single sign-on. And I did some for the sake of this video, and I promise you I will get rid of them and I'm not going to use them. But I did it just so I can demonstrate for you what it is and how you'll see in either Google or Facebook that you're using the single sign-on. Now, here's what I did. I went to AP News. I signed on here. I'm logged into AP News. I believe I'm using my Facebook account. I'm also logged into the New York Post, and I believe I'm using my Facebook account. I'm logged into Dell, and I'm using my Google account, and I'm logged into Medium, and I'm using my Google account. Now, I did that. Now, let me show you how you would do it. Here's Washington Post. Look at Washington Post gives me the ability to single sign on. This is called single sign on with my Amazon, my Facebook, my Google, or my Apple account. Then you can do a single sign on with any of that, including you can do your work or your school single sign on if they're using a business email account. So simply all I did on AP, New York Times, Dell, and Medium is that I got to their login page and I clicked on one of these options. I'm going to click on Facebook and show you what happens on Facebook. It says the Washington Post is requesting access to my name and profile and my email address. And now I can edit that access, but I'm pretty sure, wow, I can turn off my email address so they don't get it. That's pretty cool. Thank you, Washington Post, for giving me that. And then once you click on that, you have to continue as Teddy. And now I'm logged into the Washington Post as well. Now I'm going to go to Facebook, and I'm going to go to Google, and I'm going to show you what we're doing here. So if I go to Facebook, you go up here to the right-hand corner, you click on Settings and Privacy. Then you click on Settings. Once you're in Settings on Facebook, look over to the left here and find Apps and Websites. Right there, Apps and Websites. And you can see that under Apps and Websites that I am using Facebook. My Facebook account is logging into the Washington Post, the New York Post, and AP News. That's what I'm doing. Now, I am not an advocate of doing that. I urge you not to do that. What you may need to do, and I don't want to pretend I know all these websites, what you may need to do is go to each one of these and adjust your settings, adjust your connectivity, change your email address, and change the way you're logging into this account. And then once you change all the ones that you want to change, my point is I want to make sure you don't lose access to stuff that is important to you. Because once I come over here and I say remove, and I say allow Facebook to let the Washington Post know I'm removing it, I may turn that off for the sake of this video. You may want to leave that on in the event you want access to the Washington Post. So you may leave that on for you and then hit remove. Now look, I got the New York Post, remove, and I may turn that off for the sake of this video. And then the last one is AP News, and I hit remove. And turn that, and don't send that, and remove it. So I just removed using Facebook to log into those three sites. Now, one more point while you're here. While you're here, you may also want to see down under preferences, gives you the apps, websites, and games, gives you the ability, let me see if I made that bigger. Under preferences, apps, websites, and games, gives you the ability to use Facebook to log into and interact with third-party apps, websites, games, as well as connect accounts you have with other apps, websites, and games to Facebook. Turn that off. Turn it off. You won't be able to log into any place with Facebook other than Facebook. Apps and websites you're logged into may delete your accounts and activity. You won't be able to play some games on Facebook. Your gaming activity may be deleted. You may not be able to fully interact and share content with other apps and websites on Facebook using plugins. Any accounts of other apps and websites you connected to Facebook will be disconnected. You won't be able to connect your accounts with other apps and websites. That's fine. Turn it off. Because again, I'm a fan of not using Facebook single sign-on to get to other accounts. That was Facebook. Let's go look at Google. Here I am in my Gmail. I'm going to go up here and click on my picture here. I'm going to go to manage my Google account. Once you're in here, it is third-party connections. Go to third-party connections. If you look at third-party connections, I have 13 total apps. It says 12 and 9. Now, what I can search my name if I have the list that big, but I know for a fact there's Dell. I don't want to log into Dell using my Google account. Again, right here it is. I'm logged into Dell and I'm using my Google account. So go back to Google, third-party apps and services, click on Dell, and I can delete all connections you have with Dell. Click that arrow, hit confirm. And that logs me out of Dell. Now, again, if you want a Dell account, you might want to use the email address that's associated with, in this case, with Google, and go back in and change your Dell account to be logged in by email. It says you no longer connected to Dell. You can connect to Dell again at any time. Now, here's the next one. Here's one called Booksy. I don't care about Booksy. Delete all connections you have with Booksy. Hit that, hit confirm. It says I've done it. What's the next one? I like Evernote, Calendly, LinkedIn, Medium. That's the one I just did, Medium. Delete all connections you have with Medium. Boom, boom. Hit the X. What else I have here? Monster Insights. Am I using Monster Insights? I might be using Monster Insights on one of my websites. So for right now, I better leave that. Streak, Zoom, OpenAI. The rest of these are appropriate. So I want to leave those because, again, they are appropriate. I need those connected to my Google account. So now, by the way, if I go to AP and I log out, when I go to log back in, it's going to want me to use some kind of connection. I recommend email address, password, passkey, and two-factor authentication if you can. Go back to, if I go to this one here, New York Post, and I hit the down arrow and I log out, refresh, log in. It's going to give me those options again to log in to this site. Close that. Dell, if I hit refresh, is it automatically going to know I'm not? Nope, I got to log out, sign out. And then again, when I go to sign in, it's going to let me sign in with right there a Google sign-in, and I don't want to do that. That pops up to make it even easier to make that happen. I got Medium, say Medium, I need to sign out. And now when I go to sign in, you can see automatically it's pulling that up to let me do it. Do not get pulled into doing that. Close that down. And the last one was the Washington Post. There's Teddy Burris, there's sign out. And again, if I go to sign in again, it's going to give me those options of Amazon, Facebook, Google, and Apple. So again, I recommend that if you're using single sign-on with Facebook, Amazon, Apple, or Google, that you remove that login connection, clear it out of, in this case, Google and Facebook, and do not use those anymore. Use email with password or passkey, even better, and or two-factor authentication. I'm Teddy. My goal is to help you be safer. My goal is to help you minimize risk using social media and using technology, and I hope this is helpful for you.